October 1st, 2024. Israeli military begins ground invasion of southern Lebanon. Strike shuts U.S. East Coast and Gulf ports for first time since 1977. At least 128 people dead from Helene. Hundreds more are missing. Biden excoriates lying Trump for BS hurricane claim. Swamp creatures. Deep state officials who endorsed Harris tied to intel agencies and defense contractors. Ashton Kutcher's worst fear revealed as Diddy attempts to clear his name in sex trafficking trial. He trusts no one. Fast-track U.S. visa program launched for Turkish businesses. COVID booster shot efficacy becomes negative after 1 month, says study. Pete Rose, baseball legend banished for betting on the game he loved, dies at 83. Trump comes up with way to cut crime that's worse than the death penalty. Trump amplifies his dangerous hate speech against migrants. Trump's dizzying calls for violence are getting worse. This weekend's rallies prove it. Cam sham. Trump accuses Kamala Harris of staging Hurricane Helene briefing photo. You have to plug the cord into the phone for it to work. Peer-reviewed study on benefits of scientific rigor gets retracted for lack of scientific rigor. Trump campaign reacts to morbid SNL skit making fun of Trump assassination attempt. Top aide to Eric Adams forced out amid sprawling corruption probes. Britain goes full Orwell accusing Putin of imperialism. Georgia Dems sue Kemp to compel him to hold hearing on rogue election board. Would it have killed Harris to sound a little more genuine during her FEMA visit? Number of Arizona voters affected by citizenship database glitch nearly doubles. October 2nd, 2024. Iran launches salvo of ballistic missiles at Israel. Israel promises revenge after Iran fires missiles at Tel Aviv. J.D. Vance explains immigrant deportation priorities if Trump is elected. 3-on-1. J.D. Vance's mic cut as he tries to counter moderators' fact-check on Springfield migrants. Diddy's list of accomplices to be revealed in new lawsuits as lawyer warns, the names will shock you. Israel's next target will be Turkey, Erdogan says. Canadian government agency admits COVID-boosted individuals died more, says document. Sean Diddy Combs faces sexual abuse and exploitation allegations from 120 people, including minors. Iran unleashes hypersonic Fata missiles for first time on Israel. Tim Walz just reminded us what happened to Trump's last running mate. The walls are closing in. Tim Walz, staggered by cool J.D. Vance, admits I'm a knucklehead during genial VP debate. University of Connecticut professor says racism is responsible for natural disasters, not unpredictable attacks or acts of God. Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexually abusing 9-year-old boy as 120 people allege abuse. New York plans to put rats on birth control. Vance rolls out alternate reality persona and other takeaways from the 2024 VP debate. J.D. Vance tries to rewrite history. Tim Walz's Homer Simpson shtick melts down under the debate spotlight. October 3rd, 2024. Biden seeks to deter Israeli attack on Iran nuclear sites. Desperate DOJ. Judge releases Jack Smith's latest filing in Trump election interference case. Lawfare revival comes on heel of Vance trouncing Walz in VP debate. Money poorly spent. Despite skyrocketing budget, Secret Service can't seem to find the money to protect the president. Trump goes nuclear and rips Biden's DOJ for scam case as new evidence from January 6th trial is released just 33 days before election. Smith filing shocker. Trump cavalier as rioters closed in on Pence. So what? Israel declares UN chief persona non grata. The World Bank seeks to replace your signature with your biometrics, says document. Doctor who helped supply Matthew Perry with ketamine pleads guilty. Woman faked kidnapping and rape to take money from man she met online. Trump resorted to crimes to stay in office after 2020 loss, Jack Smith team says. Lawfare costs lives. Elon Musk blasts FCC for revoking licensing to Starlink as rescue ops scramble to get their hands on satellite service. Judge sets Ryan Wesley Routh trial date 2 weeks after presidential election. U.S. bomb explodes at Japanese airport. Rassi Rice's mom accused of stealing Chappell Roan records off neighbor's porch. While the media asks him about his baffling moments during the VP debate, Tim Walz stares at pizza. Apocalyptic. A town recovers one shovel of mud at a time. Elon Musk gave tens of millions to Republican causes far earlier than previously known. Harris's economic plan is a disaster wrapped in a calamity. October 4, 2024. Israel warplane strike occupied West Bank for first time since 2000 Intifada. Liz Cheney campaigns with Harris and condemns Trump's depraved cruelty. Musk says he'll attend Trump rally in Butler, scene of July shooting. Longshoremen pause strike until January 15th. Union throws Kamala a lifeline ahead of election. Top Justice Department official warns of onslaught of foreign election interference. Country music legend Garth Brooks breaks his silence after his wife's makeup artist accused him of raping her in a hotel room. This U.S. company is cashing in on Ukraine's war with killer drones that fit in a backpack. COVID-vaccinated kids are 6 times more likely to die than non-vaccinated kids, says study. LADA investigating new molestation evidence in Menendez murders, and victory for brothers. Assassins storm beach and execute man before escaping on jet skis. Election-denying ex-county clerk sentenced to 9 years behind bars. It sure looks like towns like Asheville are running out of food, but the government keeps saying everything is fine. NYC schools chancellor to step down as federal probes surrounding Mayor Eric Adams develop. Ukrainian famine museum director loses fat-shaming case. What time is it on the moon? China and the US are racing to decide. There's no such thing as an October surprise. Joe's puzzling remarks makes you wonder if he even knows about Hurricane Helene's damage. The Democratic Party is the real threat to democracy. Trump's January 6th rollback in focus as he readies new stolen election claims. October 5th, 2024. Biden says he's concerned election won't be peaceful after Trump and Vance comments. Venture capitalist titan Ben Horowitz plans significant donation to Kamala Harris. America last. DHS Chief Alejandro Mayorkas says FEMA out of money. Spent wildly on migrants. Trump returns to Butler for rally at site of assassination attempt. Victims of Hurricane Helene confirm the federal government is purposely blocking rescuers and stealing aid in an attempt to keep deep red areas from voting. LA's ex-deputy mayor headed to prison. Corruption at any level will not be tolerated. Grammy-winning star cancels final ever UK tour due to health issue he must confront seriously. Marjorie Taylor Greene pushes baseless conspiracy theory that they can control the weather. Field hospitals set up to treat North Carolina storm victims sit mostly empty. Ivanka Trump has been delivering free Starlink internet to the Carolinas, but Elon Musk shared a text saying FEMA is blocking those efforts. Biden says small business disaster loan program will soon run out of money. FBI and DHS warn Americans about possible attacks on October 7th anniversary. U.S. launches strikes against Yemen. Joker 2 is so bad it's almost laughable. Diddy and Justin Bieber appear very close in series of throwback photos. Twilight Zone. Kamala slobbers all over Dick Cheney at Wisconsin rally. An Ebola-like virus is spreading in Rwanda. Why isn't there an approved vaccine for Marburg? U.S. wiretap systems targeted in China-linked hack. FEMA deploys to rough terrain after Helene as it faces criticism and fights misinformation. October 6, 2024. Israeli strike on Gaza mosque kills 19 and bombardment of southern Beirut intensifies. Elon Musk unveils dark MAGA in unhinged Trump rally speech. Excited Elon Musk jumps onto stage to join Trump and Butler as he reenacts ex-president's fight moment in front of mammoth Super Bowl-sized crowd. Trump rally rotten. Dems are evil. Elon says last election if Trump loses. Senator Lindsey Graham pivots to Israel after being asked about Hurricane Helene victims. Oversight officials concerned about Nazi symbolism in newly discovered deputy subgroup's logo. Teenager compared to a burnt chip urges younger generations not to use sunbeds. J.D. Vance is spreading a dangerous lie about Kamala Harris and Democrats censoring the internet. Burn notice. Anti-Israel protester lights himself on fire and screams in pain until shocked bystanders rush to save him. Trump says Hurricane Helene is Kamala Harris's Katrina as death toll rises. Biden admin announces $157 million for Lebanon on same day as it says it will give $2 million to Americans for storm-damaged roads. As October 7th approaches, synagogues and mosques bolster security. Trump moves past the assassination attempt. His supporters have too. Joker 2 ends with a twist so shocking even some fans are going to hate it. Sudden death of beloved CHCH employee cancels evening newscast. There was an attempted self-immolation incident at the White House. Man is allegedly a reporter. Milton Tracker, another major hurricane forecast to slam Florida. We should call the Republican justices Republicans and not conservatives. October 7th, 2024. Harris hopes Hollywood on road to White House. The View, Stephen Colbert and Howard Stern roll out red carpet for Kamala. Hurricane's unusual path may cause catastrophe in Florida. The audacity. FEMA head slammed for calling criticism to agency's Helene response dangerous. Toddlers getting half their calories from ultra-processed foods. Tornado warning issued for south of UK as ex-Hurricane Kirk approaches. Elon Musk co-starred in Trump's disinformation fest in Butler. This self-righteous subset of Trump supporters are lying to themselves and America. Vance says a future Trump administration would defund Planned Parenthood. Hillary Clinton laments that government has lost total control of speech on social media and calls for more moderation and monitoring. TikTok star Taylor Rousseau Grigg dead at 25, sudden and unexpected. Harris refuses to call Netanyahu an ally. Elon Musk bends the knee to Donald Trump. Al Pacino reveals he almost died of COVID and delivers his verdict of the afterlife. Diddy's mom. My son is not a monster. The Russians had money. The Canadians had far-right influencers. The U.S. Department of Justice says it has a criminal case. SNL trolls Tim Walz for lying. Putin's merchant of death is back in the arms business. Great Walls of China. VP nominee has a Beijing problem. October 8, 2024. Trump blames murders in U.S. on immigrants with bad genes. Why the Middle East finds itself on the edge of apocalypse. China's stock rally cools as Beijing holds off on major stimulus. World peace. Former Dem Rep endorses Trump and says Biden-Harris admin has made world a dramatically less safe place. Taylor Swift makes pointed return to support Travis Kelce at Kansas City Chiefs game, ending speculation about their breakup contract. Left a message. Harris lashes out at selfish, utterly irresponsible DeSantis as he prepares state for monster hurricane. A surf gang at Lanada Bay harassed outsiders for decades. Can anything stop them? Catastrophic. Tampa mayor issues dire warning before Hurricane Milton: if you choose to stay, you are going to die. As major hurricane approaches Florida, FEMA faces severe staffing shortage. This injured couple can't sue Uber because their daughter once clicked a box waiving their trial rights. Celebrity friends of Diddy discreetly paying off their victims before impending lawsuits, says report. U.S. disaster programs are teetering. Milton could topple them. UK admits colony deal was about U.S. military base. Alex Cooper didn't ask Kamala Harris's favorite sex position on Call Her Daddy. Harris silent on China, says no to direct talks with Putin in election interview. Kanye West and Bianca Censori's marriage on the rocks. Arizona poised to allow 218,000 with unconfirmed citizenship to vote. October 9, 2024. New book claims Trump spoke 7 times to Putin since leaving White House. Netanyahu says Israel has taken out Nasrallah's successors. Musk's ex to be reinstated in Brazil after complying with Supreme Court demands. I tried to warn you, cries MTG as hurricane forms in the shape of the Star of David. Kamala chugs beer with Stephen Colbert as she lectures hurricane victims and lashes loser Trump over misinformation. Chopped word salad. CBS 60 Minutes appears to edit Harris's answer. Trump campaign immediately offers solution. Kamala hits Trump desire to be a dictator. Romney hints he'll vote Harris. COVID shots cause blood clots in the lungs, says case study. Convicted arsonist arrested on suspicion of starting 2 more Northern California wildfires. Million people urged to evacuate as Florida braces for worst storm in a century. Check it out. China apparently hacked Verizon and AT&T and went undetected for months. Afghan national detained for planning election day terror attack on behalf of ISIS. P. Diddy affair exposes America's need for real journalism. China set to conduct nation's first expedition in the land of the dinosaurs. Floridians warned you are going to die if they don't evacuate as Milton nears. Tim Walz calls for Electoral College to be abolished. October 10, 2024. Biden speaks with Netanyahu, pledges ironclad support for Israel. Hurricane Milton makes landfall near Siesta Key in Florida. Destructive winds of 120 miles per hour. Over 2 million without power. Life-threatening storm surge and flash flood emergencies. It's so stupid. False claims about hurricanes must stop, Biden says. Hurricane Milton destroys dome of Tampa Bay Rays baseball stadium where first responders are sheltering as multiple people are killed amid catastrophic flooding and 120 miles per hour winds. Turkey restricts Discord access over child safety concerns and crime issues. Trump campaign demands 60 Minutes release full Kamala interview after network caught deceptively editing her remarks. Fight against candy shops heats up after huge haul of sweets is incinerated. The Christian nationalist plan to take over America. Experts have been screaming about storms like Milton. Republicans refuse to listen. Report says Wyoming's Republican governor axed a doctor from the state medical board because he wrote an email that opposed trans surgeries on kids. A bidding war is brewing for Alex Jones' media empire. Kamala Harris reveals new Jamaican accent on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Cannabis dispensary employee arrested and accused of fatally shooting two suspected of attempted robbery at store. Haley Welch sets the record straight on suing creators behind her viral Hawk Tuah interview. CIA embroiled in sex crime scandals, says CNN. Biden forced to remind everyone he doesn't control the weather. Diddy implies feds leaked Cassie video. Kamala's attempt to look like a crisis manager just imploded. October 11, 2024. Assailants shoot 20 miners in attack in southwest Pakistan. New Zealand ship didn't sink because its captain was a woman, the appalled defense minister says. 1 dead and 4 injured in underground incident at former Colorado gold mine. Revealed. The real reason Usher was sent to live with P. Diddy, aged 15, after music mogul L.A. Reid arranged the teenager's puffy-flavored camp. Marjorie Taylor Greene shares CBS News report admitting weather could be controlled with lasers. Obama blasts men for finding all kinds of excuses to avoid voting for a female president. Man develops cone-shaped bulge on his head from breakdancing too much. Man blames Trump and MAGA cult for father-in-law refusing FEMA help. False conspiracy theories that Hurricane Milton is part of a political plot are still spreading. Cookie Monster busted for speeding in Germany. Arizona, college student who stabbed classmate multiple times has her attempted murder charge dropped. Israel arrests U.S. journalist over Iranian attack report. Russia shares AI images of Hurricane Milton as disinformation abounds. Diddy not so puffy anymore. Lost weight before arrest. Watch Gretchen Whitmer's bizarre video in which she feeds Doritos to a leftist and mocks Catholics. When the hurricane relief worker turns out to be a neo-Nazi. The government undermined trust in vaccines during COVID. Obama admonishes black men for hesitancy in supporting Harris. October 12, 2024. Trump calls for death penalty for migrants who kill U.S. citizens and police. Musk's unparalleled efforts to put Trump back in the White House. Now is not the time for independent thinking, Obama tells black Trump supporters. Morning Joe host says there's something wrong with people who believe Kamala isn't articulate on policies. Wild footage shows gang of looters overtake and raid a train in Chicago as cops rush to the scene and service grinds to a halt. Timing in question. Justice Department sues state for allegedly purging non-citizens from voter rolls too close to election. Fascist to the core. Top Trump general bombshell warning. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Trump attacks scum opponents, animals who infected U.S. Exclusive breaking terror alert. Secret Homeland Security memo warns of Ukrainian-connected terror attacks in U.S. during and after the 2024 election. Hurricane Milton caused $50 billion in damage, Biden says. Poll position. Early voting is down significantly from 2020, and the data holds bad news for this candidate. For liberals, a familiar sinking feeling returns. Colorado. Trump proposes Operation Aurora to deport illegal migrant gangs nationwide if re-elected. China says it will significantly increase debt to revive economic growth. Star Wars unveils first transgender stormtrooper. The leopards are eating the hurricane conspiracy theorists' faces. Top Democrats refuse to say if they'll certify election results should Trump win. AI companies are trying to build God. Shouldn't they get our permission first? Obama criticized by black leaders over lecture on Harris enthusiasm. October 13, 2024. Obama's call-out to black men touches a nerve among Democrats. Is election year misogyny at play? Hurricanes test limits of Trump's war on experts. Big Gretch causes Dems big trouble. Michigan bishops protest Whitmer's mockery of Holy Union. Governor's Dorito stunt intentionally ridiculed the Eucharist. Kamala and her Glock face off with demented Trump on SNL. Misfire. Self-proclaimed firearm enthusiast Tim Walz struggles to load $2,100 shotgun during hunting trip. Harris has far more billionaires backing her than Trump. Zelensky hopes for war's end by 2025. Jon Stewart claims Americans don't need guns to protect their constitutional rights. In Coachella, Trump returns to a favorite theme: bashing California. Neo-Nazi falls 200 feet to his death while climbing Hitler's favorite mountain. How an influx of Californians could decide Arizona's election result. Professors in elite colleges are shocked that students don't know how to read books. Harris releases her medical report and uses it to raise questions about Trump. Kanye West accused of drugging and sexually assaulting former assistant at Diddy party. We watched 20 Trump rallies. His racist, anti-immigrant messaging is getting darker. Scottish nationalist leader Alex Salmond dies suddenly. Meghan McCain on Harris invoking her father. Democrats want to reinvent history. Joe's 2024 exit results in Hunter Biden's arc to face value plunge. Whitmer apologizes for video which appeared to mock Catholic faith. October 14, 2024. U.S. Sheriff says probably prevented third Trump assassination attempt. China stock whipsaw as Beijing pledges business support. Border czar Kamala gets thumbs down. National Border Patrol Council strongly endorses Trump at Arizona rally. If VP Harris wins, every community in this great country is going to go to hell. Pennsylvania's mail-in ballot process could cause vote count lag. Harris's camp slams Trump call for military to handle Dems. I'm a Trump supporter. Man arrested outside Trump Coachella rally speaks out and denies assassination intent. Top Democrats say they'll refuse to certify election if Trump wins. Orange County man charged with workers' comp fraud involving $100 million of billings. Channel 4's countdown champion charged with stabbing rival contestant. Trump wants to make the military like Full Metal Jacket. Trump's staff is helpless against his advancing age. U.S. to deploy missile defense system and about 100 troops to Israel. This year's October surprise may be no surprise at all. Evidence of alien life to be revealed imminently, says NASA-linked director. Scale of Chinese spying overwhelms Western governments. Trump says Harris should be disqualified from the presidency. October 15, 2024. North Korea blows up roads near South Korean border as tensions soar. China moves to tax the ultra-rich for overseas investment gains. New migrant caravan headed north trying to beat possible arrival of a Trump administration. Not public squares. Biden-Harris admin paves way for bureaucrats to take gender-confused kids from non-affirming parents. Drone swarms targeting U.S. military bases are operated by mothership UFO, claims top Pentagon official, as cases baffle Air Force, White House, and NASA. What was that? Joker twists town hall into musical. Top rapper/record producer says black men won't be shamed and bullied into voting for Kamala. Unemployed people to be given weight loss jabs to get them back to work. Michael Flynn vows to unleash the gates of hell if Trump wins back the White House. Say what? Kamala delivers new baffling word salad involving constellations and crime, is dubbed Galileo Harris. In the greatest political contribution to Trump campaign yet, Bill Clinton says Laken Riley would still be alive if we had proper vetting of migrants. Biden warns Iran that any attempt to assassinate Trump would be considered an act of war. Russia and China pledge to strengthen military ties. Donald Trump's fascist romp. After plagiarism allegations, Kamala's publisher seems to know a total disaster could be on their hands. Boeing moves to stabilize finances with stock offering. Kamala Harris counts on women to carry her to the White House. October 16, 2024. Australia to ban dynamic pricing of tickets after Green Day uproar. Trump defends tariff plan while pressing for more Fed influence. Biden wants Trump in prison. After Kamala warns Trump will prosecute opponents. Georgia judge blocks election rule requiring hand counting of ballots. Georgia shatters turnout record for first day of voting. Trump camp big mad at Kamala Harris's fascism dig. Diddy's first underage accuser shares proof he was molested by Star at 1998 Hamptons White Party. Trump off the rails. What the hell is going on? Dems claim Trump lost and confused on stage in latest anti-MAGA fake news. Starmer met Taylor Swift backstage after accepting free tickets to her show. Harris attacks Trump for giving Putin COVID tests when black people were dying every day. Dodging the question. Charlemagne the God calls out Harris for question filibuster and doing the lot of things wrong with border in awkward town hall. Trump escalates threats to political opponents he deems the enemy. UK's highest court upholds ruling that makes calling men bald sexual harassment. Georgia. Judge rules election officials must certify results even if fraud is suspected. Nicaraguan president labels Zelensky as son of Hitler. Trump defense secretary says believe him when he says he'll use military against Americans. Rock guitarist Jake E. Lee shot in random Las Vegas incident. Harris tells black men Trump is weak. Charlemagne the God interview takeaways. October 17, 2024. U.S. says B-2 bombers launched precision strikes against Houthis in Yemen. Eating other things. Trump adds to false claims about Haitian immigrants. Liam Payne was acting erratically with police called to his hotel over drugs and alcohol claims shortly before he fell to his death at age 31, as One Direction star's horror injuries revealed. Amazon is betting big on small nuclear reactors to power its data centers. Not on the ballot. VP Harris avoids questions about Biden's mental fitness during interview with Fox News' Bret Baier. Los Angeles Catholic Church to pay record settlement over clergy abuse, cumulative payouts top $1.5 billion. Russian spies accused of using secret device to start fire in UK warehouse. A Georgia judge just blocked 7 rules passed by MAGA election officials. An AI-powered bot army on X spread pro-Trump and pro-GOP propaganda, research shows. British police arrest street preacher who said Christian God is different than Allah and sex is binary. Bill Clinton recites bizarre eulogy at Ethel Kennedy funeral. Your mother was the cat's meow. U.S. announces new Ukraine aid package. FBI quietly revises crime statistics and reveals rise in violent crime. October 18, 2024. U.S. charges Indian government employee in foiled Sikh separatist murder plot. Trump delivers a pointed and at times bitter speech at Al Smith charity dinner. Israel says Yahya Sinwar, top Hamas leader, killed by troops in Gaza. Trump spews profanity and insults at Catholic charity dinner. Trump unleashes his most brutal insults as he roasts Kamala Harris at glitzy Al Smith dinner, and no one is safe from his zingers. Keep Doug away from the nannies. Israel strikes Syria and U.S. pounds Houthis in Yemen. German news publication claims Ukraine could have nuclear weapons within weeks, says report. Former Canadian Olympic snowboarders charged with running drug trafficking organization and ordering killings. Sky News branded scum over comments on Liam Payne's young son Bear. Dave Bautista's attack on Trump wasn't just about jokes. Chance encounter led to Hamas leader's death. Israelis were surprised to discover Sinwar's body after shooting stopped. Atlanta area sheriff calls for emergency backup because Burger King got order wrong. Biden announces cancellation of $4.5 billion in student debt for 60,000 public service workers. EU Commissioner labels Musk promoter of evil. Kamala Harris's answer to this question should warrant a special counsel investigation. The Democrats' pro-union strategy has been a bust. Trump lands zingers at Al Smith dinner as Harris misses chance to court Catholics. October 19, 2024. Menendez brothers' murder case gets reevaluated due to sexual abuse allegations. Myanmar's Muslim company joins revolution to topple military leaders. Endangered Democrats brag about Trump ties in final stretch. Trump slams Harris over claims he's exhausted. She didn't come to Al Smith dinner. Hall of Mirrors. FCC Commissioner seeks investigation into Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Wrong rally. VP Harris mocks pro-life protesters hours before Catholic charity dinner snub. Stephen A. Smith blasts Obama for attempting to shame black men into voting for Kamala. Girl, 19, had her face bitten off by stranger on bus in front of passengers. Is he fit to do the job? Obama and Harris slam Trump, who's reportedly too exhausted for interviews. Power goes out on entire island of Cuba, leaving 10 million people without electricity. Bad influence. Liam Payne was using powerful drug that can cause hallucinations when he plunged to his death at Argentina hotel. Judge Chutkan unseals mountain of Donald Trump evidence from Jack Smith. Panel appointed by Homeland Security says complete overhaul of Secret Service needed. Google will block election advertisements as soon as polls close on Election Day. China's current pro-birth policies cannot offset population crisis, expert warns. Trump is speaking like Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini. Kentucky man declared brain dead wakes up during organ harvesting. The anarchist undertaker who does death differently. Newsom sides with Elon Musk's SpaceX lawsuit in surprising break with California agency. October 20th, 2024. Purported leaked U.S. intelligence appears to show Israel's plans for attack on Iran. Iran says Hezbollah behind drone attack on Netanyahu's residence. Asian IPOs set for blockbuster week as animal spirits return. Trump raves about size of Arnold Palmer's manhood. All man. 7 dead and 6 critically injured in Georgia ferry dock collapse during event for slavery descendants. Trump swing state strategy. Penis size closing pitch. Kamala Harris is the only presidential nominee to skip the Al Smith dinner since Walter Mondale lost 49 states to Ronald Reagan in 1984. Why you should stop looking at 2024 election polls in the coming weeks. Democratic panic runs much deeper than Kamala Harris's polls. Donald Trump's success with black voters might be a myth after all. Huge, state-of-the-art fire station burns down because they didn't have any fire alarms. Why Donald Trump is a mystical figure of historic proportions. Burdened by what has been, Dems enter home stretch with familiar worry. Trump ground game in key states flagged as potentially fake. Willie Nelson. Dude, where's my candidate? Announces cannabis event to support Kamala Harris. Fetterman warns against Elon Musk's support of Trump. How Tim Walz is defining masculinity in politics. Trump fixates on Arnold Palmer as all man and showers during profane rally. October 21st, 2024. Trump mocks Harris's story from behind the fryer at McDonald's. Israel says it attacked Hezbollah's intelligence HQ in Beirut. Trump forced to cancel campaign rallies for next 2 weeks as time off request denied by McDonald's manager. Harris says Trump's profanity and vulgar remarks will repel voters. McDonald Trump works the fries and drive-thru in Philly. Customers loving it. Trolls Kamala, now I have more fast food experience than her. Musk's daily $1 million giveaway to registered voters could be illegal. 60 Minutes issues searing statement refuting false Trump. Diddy accused of raping 7 more victims, including 13-year-old girl who was drugged, and bombshell new lawsuits. Would you like memes with that? Trump's epic shift at McDonald's dominates internet. Pegasus spyware maker said to flout federal court as it lobbies to get off U.S. blacklist. Kamala Harris responds to Donald Trump referring to her as a shit vice president. Harris goes to church, highlighting the absence of religion in the 2024 campaign. Donald Trump spotted at Jets Steelers game, posts jacked up pic of himself in Pittsburgh uniform. Lizzo says if Kamala wins then the whole country will be like Detroit. U.S. cybersecurity chief says election systems have never been more secure. CIA cutout linked writer mocked for Trump is Hitler hit piece. Harris to mark 60th birthday with Atlanta church visits as Trump hits McDonald's. Harris says Trump demeans the presidency after he calls her a shit VP. October 22, 2024. Harvey Weinstein diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. Peruvian ex-president sentenced to more than 20 years in bribery case. Why Chick-fil-A is launching an entertainment app. Millions lose faith in God as Dodgers and Yankees move on to World Series. Feds Daily says she doesn't see reasons to stop cutting rates. Ben Stiller, Andy Cohen, and Doug Emhoff urge fathers to vote for Kamala Harris. Because abortion an issue for men and families. Charlemagne cracks up as Lara Trump says Donald's not racist. Happy Meal. Woman served by former President Trump at McDonald's reveals details behind viral exchange. Tim Walsh says Trump's McDonald's visit showed the workers' disrespect. LA Council candidate takes heat for saying fuck the police while discussing LAPD spending. Two former Pittsburgh Steelers join Trump's team of toxic men. Newsweek comes after Pennsylvania McDonald's after they dared to host Donald Trump. Central Park 5 sue Trump for defamation following statements made during presidential debate. Dissecting Trump's Arnold Palmer masculinity play. Israel claims to have found Hezbollah gold. Liz Cheney urges conservatives to back Kamala Harris over abortion. Trump leans into hypermasculine approach in closing campaign stretch. How Beijing recruited New York Chinatowns for influence campaign. Why Democrats are so afraid of McDonald's. Trump flips stance on making voting easier after storm batters North Carolina. October 23, 2024. Israel confirms killing Hashem Safieddine, potential successor of slain Hezbollah chief Nasrallah. Investigation reveals Trump's role in Home Alone 2 was staged. Trump is a Hitler-loving literal fascist, says ex-chief of staff. Engagement. Tim Walz welcomed Chinese Communist Party officials into his Nebraska classroom. Trump loses it as Obama raps with Eminem on stage at Detroit rally. I think he's a real jerk. Party of the People. Former Democratic presidential candidate announces she's joining the GOP at Trump rally. Shock Trump Hitler praise. Fascism warning from his own chief of staff. Plus, Don bailed on paying for soldiers' funeral. Escalating war costs Israel $133 million daily, straining economy. Witches casting spells on Trump upset he has some kind of protection around him. Dodgers star Fernando Valenzuela, who changed MLB by sparking Fernandomania, dies. Giuliani ordered to turn over apartment and other valuables to defame Georgia election workers. Not Biden his tongue. Biden on Trump 14 days before 2024 election says, we gotta lock him up. CBS News says the country is being flooded with migrants because of climate change. China and Vatican agree to extend deal on bishop appointments for 4 more years. Trump says, I need the kind of generals that Hitler had. 1 dead in multi-state E. coli outbreak tied to U.S. McDonald's Quarter Pounders. Former Abercrombie CEO Mike Jeffries charged in sex trafficking case. Reporter struck by shrapnel during Kinzinger and Lucas Kuntz shooting range event. U.S. officials say Russia smeared Tim Walz and might stoke post-vote violence. October 24, 2024. Boeing strike to continue after workers reject new contract. Harris says Trump is a fascist after John Kelly says he wanted generals like Hitler's. Pennsylvania court allows provisional ballot option if mail-in vote rejected. Democrats explained Trump was going to be Hitler during first term, but he forgot. 2 weeks out, Trump and Harris are locked in a dead heat. McConnell says MAGA movement is completely wrong and Reagan wouldn't recognize Trump's GOP. Trailblazers. Child Services Department working with Biden-Harris admin track trans kids on secret database. Model claims Trump groped her in 1993 in a twisted game after meeting him through Jeffrey Epstein. Hezbollah's drone attack on his home is the latest chance for Netanyahu to play the victim. Shock report, Trump-Epstein grope claim. Plus, MAGA land Hitler shrug. Biden spokesperson says Trump's a fascist. Liz piles on. Look in the mirror. Terror attack on Turkish aerospace facility kills 5. Democrat Senate candidate accidentally shoots reporter with AR-15 at campaign event. A theme in GOP attack ads in California House races, linking Democrats to pedophiles over support for LGBTQ group. King Charles's friend died after getting trapped between the wall and his bed while drunk. Trump shares anti-trans attack with The Undertaker's daughter in awkward interview. Politico reporter who celebrated California's criminal justice reform laments having gas stolen out of truck for second time. French Nobel-winning laser scientist Gerard Mourou joins China's top university. Americans creating deepfakes targeting Harris works with Russian intel, documents show. October 25, 2024. President Biden to apologize for 150 years of indigenous boarding schools. Saudi foreign minister commits to BRICS cooperation at Kazan summit. Final nail in the coffin? Former Blockbuster employee accuses Trump of failing to return VHS tape of Baby Geniuses in 1999. Trump 2.0 haunts world economy chiefs gathering in Washington. Former model says Trump groped her in front of Jeffrey Epstein. Harris won't be going on Joe Rogan's podcast after all. Hillary Clinton says Trump is going to Madison Square Garden to reenact the 1939 Nazi rally. Musk gets $20 billion richer after Tesla stock surge from earnings report. Coked up Kamala video goes mega viral as internet speculates Dem nominee high on drugs. Trump's extreme rhetoric is echoing in threats of violence. Tucker Carlson frames Trump as America's abusive dad in disturbing speech. Trump says the U.S. is like a garbage can for the world as he dials up immigration rhetoric. Putin reportedly asked Elon Musk not to activate Starlink over Taiwan. Insane clown posse endorses Kamala Harris for president. China satellites at risk as debris count from Intelsat explosion rises. We have an update on the anti-Israel activist who tore down Greek flags she mistook for being Israeli. How Trump is a fascist became Kamala's closing argument. Elon Musk's secret conversations with Vladimir Putin. Harris and Obama torch Trump's ego at Georgia rally with Springsteen. October 26, 2024. Freedom Caucus chair faces backlash over North Carolina elector scheme. Trump freeballs in 3-hour marathon interview on Joe Rogan Experience. Being a politician is a dangerous business. Israel says its retaliation against Iran has ended. Bezos overrode his own publisher to nix Harris endorsement. Biden's blueprint. Democrats forecast plan to go after high-profile Trump supporters. Excruciating moment, Biden butchers name, then insists there's nothing wrong with me during somber Native American apology. CNN panel explodes after Kevin O'Leary points out Kamala chosen by Pelosi and Dem elites. Pentagon purchased OpenAI tools for military operations across Africa. Freddie Freeman makes history with walk-off grand slam in Game 1 of World Series. Beyoncé's appearance at Harris rally is sure to get under Trump's skin. Joe Biden unveils third attempt at student loan cancellation. Pennsylvania, fraud scheme involving 2,500 voter registrations found in Lancaster County. Russia is behind fake video of ballots being destroyed, U.S. officials say. Bronze poop sculpture mocking Trump and January 6th protesters is erected along D.C. National Mall. Nuland's husband quits Walpo after Bezos' decision. Trump is not a fascist, insists man who called him America's Hitler. Furor over Washington Post's decision to not endorse presidential candidate. This thread of libs melting down over the Washington Post not endorsing Kamala is pure gold. How dudes with podcasts became the kings of the election. October 27, 2024. Take our lives seriously, Michelle Obama pleads as she rallies for Kamala Harris in Michigan. Joe Rogan interviews former McDonald's fry cook. Michelle Obama suggests people not supporting Kamala Harris are racist and sexist. After a rousing speech, calls for Michelle Obama for prez. Rhetorical question. Major blue city mayor undermines Harris's fascist accusation against Trump and makes call to dial down the temperature. Horrifying moment, Democrat Karen screams in child's face in front of shocked dad at Harris event. Archbishop says Kamala Harris is an infernal monster who obeys Satan. LA Times owner's decision not to endorse in presidential race sparks resignations and questions. Woman who left boyfriend to suffocate inside zipped-up suitcase guilty of murder. How Trump plans to avoid a Saturday night massacre. Vance says current U.S. leaders are a way bigger threat than any foreign threat. Yanks woe for two. Superstar Shohei Ohtani injury concern overshadows Dodgers' domination of Yankees in Game 2 of World Series. Rapper Lil Durk received the key to the city from 2 Chicago suburbs days before being arrested in connection to an alleged murder for hire. Michelle Obama says she's a little angry at the hesitation to vote for Harris. Delta sues CrowdStrike following July outage that cost them $500 million. Here's when we'll likely know the election results from these key swing states. Democrats deploy thousands of lawyers for election strategy. GOP focus on rare non-citizen voting may continue long after Election Day. October 28, 2024. Trump's racist rally was vile. It was also political suicide. Why Trump's NYC rally is drawing comparisons to a 1939 pro-Nazi rally. Rally a real marvel. Trump's new coalition of MAGA Avenger allies gather to back their Captain America at Madison Square Garden. Trump at the Garden. A carnival of grievances, misogyny, and racism. Fast and Furious. Shock racist speech at Trump mega rally. At Trump rally, comedian calls Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage. Bad Bunny shows support for Harris after comedian makes offensive comment about Puerto Rico at Trump rally. Hochul says Trump's Madison Square Garden rally is a white flag of surrender. Democrats scream in fury after spotting child that made it out of the womb alive. NYC Mayor Adams says stop calling Trump a fascist. Dems' November nightmare. What happens if Trump wins? Trump promises not to fight foreign wars. Donald Trump's dog whistles are unmistakable. Harris adopts Trump's playbook as she targets his age and competence. Harris campaigns in Philadelphia with promise to win presidential election. The Harris Walls ticket and its easily disproved cache of lies. Economists warn of new inflation hazards after election. Aliens could be wandering around Earth right now, Elon Musk claims. Halloween 2024. Hollywood gets spooky. Selena Gomez and more dress for Halloween. October 29, 2024. Pentagon says North Korea sent 10,000 troops to join Russian war in Ukraine. Democrats escalate attacks on Trump after comedian calls Puerto Rico floating island of garbage. MSNBC mocking the Holocaust faces backlash from Jewish Trump supporters after Nazi rally comparison. A brain-dead patient woke up in the OR, but a witness says an organ procurement group kept pushing. How La Barbie and her Venezuelan thugs could swing the U.S. election. The brutal Tren de Aragua gang couldn't establish a toehold in the U.S., then Biden opened the floodgates, and it might seal the deal for Trump. Fascist fallout. Archbishop speaks out. Puerto Rico GOP chair won't vote Trump without apology. Arson at ballot boxes in Vancouver and Portland destroy hundreds of ballots. Student kills himself after botched beard transplant by a state agent. Why Harris and Beyoncé was a bigger deal than Trump and Joe Rogan. How Russia, China, and Iran are interfering in the presidential election. Tim Walz and AOC played Madden on a live stream Sunday, and it was as cringe as you'd imagine. Ballots set on fire in 3 states as Election Day approaches. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich slams Trump as a pathetic individual and questions why young people are voting Republican. No new limits on Ukraine's use of U.S. arms if North Korea joins Russia's fight, Pentagon says. Harris campaign releases Fortnite map. The liberal media is fuming at Trump's MSG rally because they don't understand anything. Pentagon runs low on air defense missiles as demand surges. Harris, entering final stretch, stresses unity and paints Trump as a divider. October 30th, 2024. In a first since 1938, Des Moines, Iowa, kids will trick-or-treat on Halloween. U.S. efforts to contain Xi's push for tech supremacy are faltering. Harris says election is a choice between freedom and division. Biden calls Trump supporters garbage in shock moment evoking Hillary Clinton's infamous insult. Turkey positions itself as important commercial hub for U.S. firms. Ex-State Department Under-Secretary of State Victoria Nuland claims Musk and X are Putin's new powerful tool for interfering in U.S. election. Masked gunman fires shots from Four Seasons hotel balcony and injures cop. Damn good speech. Maddow reacts to Harris's closing arguments remarks. These influencers refuse to wear life jackets on a yacht because it would ruin their selfies. They drowned when their boat sank. At the site of Trump's January 6th rally, Harris makes her closing pitch for the campaign. Paul Pelosi's hammer-wielding attacker David DePape sentenced to life without parole. Free Gaza messages found on devices at burned ballot boxes, New York Times reports. Canada alleges Indian Minister Amit Shah behind plot to target Sikh separatists. U.S. state accidentally made voting system passwords public. China launches Shenzhou 19 spacecraft, carrying its 3rd female astronaut. How the Trump resistance gave up. President says he meant to condemn comedian, not Trump supporters, and garbage comments. Disqualifying. Harris and Walz both keep equating Trump supporters to Nazis. America's top archivist puts a rosy spin on U.S. history, pruning the thorny parts. October 31, 2024. Bill Clinton in Michigan says economy was better under Donald Trump. But you should still vote for Kamala Harris. Democrats privately exasperated with Biden after garbage comment. Third time's the charm? Persistent issues with polling methodology could spell disaster for Democrats in November. Kim Kardashian deletes son Saint West's YouTube channel following anti-Kamala posts. Ballot drop box fires sparked by devices with Free Gaza message, yet police have not determined motive. Taliban bans women from hearing each other. In turnaround, SCOTUS legalizes Virginia voter purge. The Republicans' freakout over Biden's garbage gaffe is absurd. Harris says she strongly disagrees with criticism of people based on who they vote for. Millions of movers reveal American polarization in action. Trump rides garbage truck to hammer Biden as Harris scrambles to clean up. A Chinese student is facing criminal charges for voting in Michigan, but the state has no way of tracking his ballot, so they're counting it. Harris campaign manipulating social media, says researcher. 2024 swing state Trump electors are primed to stop the steal again. Judge orders Elon Musk to appear in Philadelphia court over $1 million giveaways. President Biden. Where's the 11 herbs and spices? Pretends to bite baby costumed as chicken. How the Biden-Harris admin diverted billions from scientific research funds to promote DEI. Gen Z is shocked by Trump's Access Hollywood video. We should be, too. Stop pretending Trump will send journalists to the gulag.